So, Mimir, seemed like maybe you know Brock and Sindri.
Oh, the Huldra brothers. Well, who doesn't? They're quite famous, or infamous, depending on your point of view. They crafted Mjolnir, you see. Thor's hammer, the Aesir's greatest murder weapon, the bane of giant kind.
They made Thor's hammer? I didn't think they'd like the Aesir.
Oh, I should say not. But this was long ago, and they were eager to make a name for themselves. Rather overdid it with that one, methinks.
Wow.
Come on in, then. So much for peace and quiet. Sure, that'll keep you out of trouble. Rich with the pride. Safe, bruiser boy. Now there's something else.
Hang on. Mimir, it's called Brock and Sindri the Huldra brothers?
Aye.
But they're dwarves, aren't they?
Aye.
And Huldra are sprites of the forest.
Aye. Beautiful, seductive sprites of the forest.
So why would you call Brock and Sindri the Huldra?
Oh, well, I now realize this would be a wholly inappropriate story for young and innocent ears.
Whatever. Mimir, why don't you tell us the story of the giant that stole Thor's hammer?
Happily, my boy. It involves your friend Freya, too, though I don't expect it's one she'd enjoy being reminded of. The giant was called Thrym. And we'll pick this...
Ooh, good find. I can read what this says now. But it's a name. Gerdrifel. Whoa! The name made it light up.
It's the name of one of the Valkyries. That's quite curious. So, if you remember, I'd started a doozy of a story earlier. There was a frost giant king who was called Thrym, and he proved cunning enough to make off with Mjolnir while the Thunder Lummox slept. Sadly for Thrym, he didn't always think with his brain. And we'll pick this up later.
Gullveig, you were taken from this realm too early. You who walks among the living, my beloved Gullveig calls to me. She yearns for peace, yet her remains lie in pieces. I beg of you, make my Gullveig whole again.
You want us to collect her bones? Gross.
Gullveig's Seidr magic knows no bounds. She can reunite you with those you've lost.
Really? How?
Boy,
I can smell your grief, child. Rest assured, her magic is strong enough to create bridges between life and death, if only for a short while.
boy, we are leaving.
They've taken 3 of sweet Gullveig's bones and spread them across the lake. Gullveig will reward you.
Good. The special chisel is ahead past this gate.
I'm switching it! I'm not ready! Switching!
Please, my fair Gullveig. This realm suffers without
I'm
her
getting better at
spirit.
this. Father, maybe we should look for those bones.
Why?
Didn't you hear him? We could talk to Mom again. If we keep an eye out
Look
while
if you wish, boy. I will not be distracted by this fool's errand. This chisel we seek, what is it?
I'm glad you asked, actually. I have just the story for you. There was a giant once named Thamur. A very giant, who, despite his mountainous size, was without question the greatest stonemason this world had ever seen. Proud Thamur hoped to one day pass his vast knowledge on to his son. But young Hrimthur had the heart of a warrior. Perhaps the father had too much fear in him, or the son too little. Either way, the quarrel of theirs spiraled out of control, and the overworked stonemason, bonk, struck his son. Hrimthur ran off into the night. Feeling shame and regret, Thamur chased after his son. But in his emotional state, soon found himself wandering Midgard, lost and alone. Sadly, he caught the eye of the one person he didn't want to meet alone that night, so far from home. Thor.
And what happened next?
You'll see.
Thor killed him. Oh no. They fell in the village?
Aye. When Thamur fell, he crushed a charming place famed for worshipping the Vanir god Njord. Thor always took credit for planning that one. The truth is, the sweaty ballbag just got lucky.
Enemies. Now Wolver's down! I'm not ready!
We seek a chisel.
The tip of one, yes. A very, very giant chisel.
Darn, that didn't seem to do anything.
Oh, neat trick, lad.
Thanks. His idea.
When he died, his final breath froze everything.
There he is.
Find the tip of that chisel. That's the magic we need.
Hostiles. Should we attack? Changing arrow! Sorry, not ready! Stay there! I think you got him. Hey! Hey, hardened world tree sap. That's handy. An all-fine light crystal. Wonder what it's for. That did it!
Read it.
Yes, sir. To Njord, we offer back the season.
Ah, yes. It was believed that Njord calmed the winds and seas for the fishermen. For that, they loved and worshipped him here.
Woo! something up there. How are we getting down there?
I have a plan.
You do?
Do not act so surprised.
Oh, no offense, brother, but I don't even think Thor with Mjolnir in hand could get through that much ice.
Then Thor is a fool.
This should be entertaining.
Boy,
Ready.
adequate.
Wow, that was something, that fight. Here, catch. Well, that was a waste of a perfectly good
How
hour.
were you not seen? There is nowhere here to hide.
Oh, that. It's a little trick my people can pull. A special way of not being seen.
You can be invisible?
More like I can step into the realm between realms. And your mind doesn't understand what it's seeing, so it sees nothing at all. That's how we avoid ever having to actually use the weapons we craft. It doesn't seem to work on dragons, though.
Your brother wanted to know if you're getting enough to eat. I guess I could tell him you are.
Brock was asking about me? Was there meat on his breath? You let him touch this again. Come on, then.
So that's how Brock was in the temple right after the water drop. He stepped between realms.
Okay, now shush. I need complete silence for this. There you go.